welcome to Dave's Cooking Show. And today, I'm going to give you my tips and pointers on how to make perfect brats on the grill. A friend of mine on here asked me if I wouldn't mind doing this. Sure, I can show you my tips and tricks on how I make perfectly grilled brats. Unfortunately, you won't see the finished grilled brats because these were for another thing that I was doing, and I forgot at the time to show the plate of completed brats, but it's kind of irrelevant. The reason I won't be doing a complete, dish or meal or what have you is because brats, they begin and they end with the pork that's stuffed into the casing, the spices that are added to the pork. There's very, very little you can do to change the flavor of a brat. Sure, you can poach them in beer. Sure, you can poach them in this. One of my biggest cooking disasters was I tried to do this southwestern thing where I added, I made like this chilada with Budweiser and some tomato juice, and I added cilantro, and it turned out to be this gross, disgusting, foul-tasting mess. So the only way to affect brats is either cut them out of the casings and put more spices in yourself, or make your own spices, start up a grinder, and make the sausages yourself. But a number of people do make some mistakes when making brats. And here are my tips and tricks, because they are one of my absolute favorite things to cook. How to make perfect brats on the grill every time.
Okay, let's start off making some perfect brats on the grill. Here are my tips and tricks to help anybody make perfect brats on the grill. First, you want to set your heat to medium low. If you have the time, I highly recommend medium low. The reason is, unlike steaks and unlike burgers, heat is an enemy of the brats. It really, really is. It is a complete enemy of brats. My second tip, and this is a crucial one, is you must never, ever, I don't care how much gas it wastes, I don't care what your dad said, I don't care what your grandpa says, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what a book told you, do not close that fucking lid. You do not close that motherfucker. You never, ever, ever cook brats with a closed lid. If you do, the fire will get hot enough to burst the skin, and all the grease and fat, and consequently all the flavor of the brat, all the juiciness of the brat, will spray out all over and cause a fire, which will in turn increase the heat and cause more brats to burst open. And the last thing anybody wants is a burst open brat. So if you're doing this on a gas grill, which I recommend, I don't recommend charcoal for brats because of the simple fact of charcoal gets too hot. Medium-low heat, and keep that damn grill open, because heat is the enemy of brats. If you want to keep them together and you don't want a burst fucking mess of brats, keep that heat low, have some time, grab a couple extra beers, and grill slow. Unlike steak, heat is the enemy of brats. Okay, the last little trick I've got is to continually flip your brats. I know that goes against grilling masters, but I find that if you leave brats on one side too long, the skin bursts, the grease flies, the fire roars, and you have Chernobyl brats. One last thing. If you insist on using charcoal, I would use the indirect method. Charcoal, I have found, burns way too hot for brats over direct heat. That is just my advice for how to grill perfectly made brats.